What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Glaze FTV here. I've got an absolute roller coaster of a ranked Iron Man game for you guys today. I finished the game with 36 eliminations and over 37,000 damage, and this game definitely didn't go the way I expected, nor I think will you expect. So if you enjoy Marvel Rivals content and want to see more ranked gameplay like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. I do go over some analysis and some positioning and just overall, the current state of the game. So let's jump right into it, guys. Enjoy. So hopping straight into it, this game was honestly one of the craziest ranked Convergent matches I've played in Season 9, especially a while on Iron Man. And it's also a really good example of where the state of mind or just the community of Marvel Rivals is, or a lot of players are at right now. And you'll see throughout this video, as well as some other things I noticed about my own VOD, right? And, especially from the start here, things were really going south. I mean, they came out super aggressive. They won the opening fight almost immediately, and I got caught out of position, really before I could build any momentum, and was just relying heavily on my supports way too long. And it's definitely not the way you'd want to start a ranked game. It was a hard time consistently getting back in the fight at the beginning, and I was going to change my character immediately. However, the lack of pressure made me reconsider, and I knew I was already doing a lot of damage. So, I was just being patient, and everything did start to slow down for me. Instead of forcing plays, I really focused on putting constant pressure on whoever on their team was out of position, or even their supports. And I got a little greedy with it, and you'll notice multiple times throughout this video, trying to push those supports, I got caught lacking. And one thing about Iron Man is you don't always need to secure the eliminations yourself. If you just really put down that damage, your other duelist or hopefully your tank can put it down. And unfortunately, we just weren't capitalizing on that. And I could say if you're forcing cooldowns or, making supports panic or just keeping multiple people low, you're already creating opportunities for your team, and that's what I was trying to do here. There were several moments where I did think I had easy finishes, and I got greedy again, and some of their supports, they were just barely keeping them alive, but, credit to them. They made every elimination feel earned, and eventually I started cleaning up fights and picking up a few finals, and it finally did feel like we were getting back into the game. And then I got a little too aggressive. I saw another low target, committing a little further than I probably should have, and I got punished for it. And you'll see their team play was really good. They just kept turning on me, and that's one of the biggest risks with Iron Man, especially right now. If you overextend without an escape plan, you are usually going to get punished. And you'll see, we tried using Doctor Strange's spoil to really stop them from taking the point or stop their momentum. And I tried to dive in on that idea, but I don't know if it was the placement or just the fact that we were all diving in separately. It just didn't work out. And you'll notice that sometimes these strange guys stop portaling from above. But, we were trading eliminations back and forth, and I thought, we could do something with that. I ended up dying a couple more times trying to keep the objective alive, and even then I was still finding picks whenever someone slipped up. I mean, the frustrating part here was that we never really looked coordinated. We'd get an elimination, lose a teammate somewhere else, I'd get eliminated, and have to back up, try to reset, and we were just scattered, and we just couldn't build a lot of momentum in the first round. But we did end up executing. It also felt like I really couldn't stay in fights as long as I wanted. Their supports were doing a really good job keeping people alive, and while on our side I found myself backing out a lot earlier than normal, just because I wasn't getting the sustain I needed. Some of that was definitely my positioning, of course, and it made every fight feel like I just had to play almost perfectly just to stay alive. And even with all that, I just really kept trying to do my job, keeping pressure on their backline, farming damage, and capitalizing whenever someone made a mistake. And I was just doing my best not to, farm tanks without giving away free heal rolls. And by the end of this first round, you'll notice that I believe I was sitting at 19 eliminations. I did have 8 deaths, which was way too much, and nearly 19,000 damage individually. And it felt like I was having a great game, or a decent game at least, but the scoreboard really wouldn't matter if we couldn't close it out. And going into round 2, I knew we'd have to clean things up if we wanted a chance of winning. And we did end up finishing pretty strong here. I mean, again, you'll notice right here, I'm trying to put the damage on this tank, and this support is just keeping him alive, especially with Venom this season. He's just absolutely a menace. And we ended up closing out the first round, to a tight close here, and stopping them here, with only 1 on the board, which I feel like was fairly good considering the amount of times that we were dying. And it was just a really close game overall. It's a chaotic, fun game. And you'll notice that going into round 2 here, it's definitely worth the watch. So I hope you guys are enjoying it so far.
The current score is 0.
Going into the second round, I honestly felt, decent about how I was playing. There's obviously some adjustments I need to make. I mean, I had 19 eliminations, almost 19,000 damage in, the first round, and it isn't something you see very often at the first point unless you're playing a hit scan. But, at the same time, none of that mattered because we were still losing. And I started thinking about what needed to change. It wasn't really a damage issue at this point. We were getting our picks. The bigger problem was that we weren't converting those picks into one team fights, and every time we'd get, an advantage or someone would get caught out or we'd lose control of the objective before we could really capitalize. And, my mindset going into this second round was, simple. Stop forcing hero plays and stop dying. And as Iron Man, everyone knows this, the longer you're alive, the more pressure you're putting on their backline. And if I could stay alive just a few seconds longer each fight or just in general, I knew I'd have more chances to clean people up instead of constantly running back from spawn or overextending. And I also knew I had to be a little more disciplined with my positioning, right? Because, we weren't getting the sustain that we need. And there were a couple of deaths, in the first round that were definitely on me. Even if I thought I could secure another elimination, it just really wasn't worth giving them a free pick in return. And at this point, I wasn't thinking about finishing with a huge stat line. I was just focused on winning the next fight because if we could build some momentum, this game was just definitely completely winnable. One thing I've learned, playing Iron Man and being an Iron Man main is that you can't let a rough start dictate the rest of your game. And if you start chasing every low health target or trying to make a highlight play every fight, then you're usually just going to, feed sometimes the best play, and the best play is backing off. And for a few seconds, waiting for your cooldowns and looking for the next opportunity instead of forcing the current one. The nice thing was my ultimate was becoming a pretty good threat, even if I didn't get it as massive team wipe as I was wanting, and even if I wasn't using it immediately, just having it available changes how the enemy has to position, and they can't group up as comfortably, and it opens up a lot more space for the rest of my team. And at this point, I could honestly feel like one clean team fight could completely flip the momentum of the match, which you'll see here it did a couple times, and we already shown we could win the fights. We just need to put everything together at the right time. And so we did actually manage to pull off a comeback, or was 36 eliminations still not enough? You'll have to watch the rest of this match to find out. And I just gotta say, if you enjoy the gameplay, don't forget to like and subscribe one more time, and let me know in the comments if you've ever had a game where you felt like you gave it everything and it just simply wasn't enough. I'm sure you have, and I want to hear about it. So let's get back into it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. Please leave any comments below, and I look forward to talking to you in the next one, especially with season 9.5 and the hood coming. Let's get to it. See you soon, guys.
Step lively, folks. This statue is on a schedule. Thunderstrike!